Is there any artist past or present who truly rivals the lyrical genius and culture impact of Vybz Kartel? Comment below. For over decades, his shadow has loomed largely over dancehall, setting a standard many believe is simple and unreachable. In this one, we're not talking about hits or hype. We're going to discuss the DJ legacy. Kartel legacy isn't about topping charts or scoring rival moments. It's about creating a bar so high, so complex, so deeply woven into the DNA of dancehall that every artist who came after him automatically get measured by.
Straight jeans, I get it. You know white t-shirts, me baby. No. Oh.
This video will show you exactly why Vybz Kartel is not just great. See, greatness is something plenty artists can claim, but with Kartel, it's different. This man stand out like a bad wig pon the dolly dem. Every time you think somebody a reach close, him just move the bar again. You can line up the biggest names from any era, and somehow Kartel still look like him playing a whole different sport. This man build a level of lyrical depth, creativity and cultural control that don't come around twice in a lifetime. And yes, some of you are going to say, Mlard, them still now win a Grammy. Okay, no problem. Watch the video. Let's start with the obvious. The man lyrics. Take Scorched for example. A very simple song. Just the title alone, which is a street term, he flipped that into a lyrical weapon. Every line in that song has a hidden meaning. His wordplay, Jano Star, how the man mix aggression, human brilliance in one breath. When Kartel says scorch earth, he isn't just threatening rivals, he's crafting imagery that burns into your mind. A concept of writing that I guarantee you cannot find 4 artists in dancehall doing this. If you can find that artist, just know that is a sign of a master writer. You can look way back at Last Man Standing. Kartel didn't just diss Mlard. The man created a whole energy around that song. When he called Mlard a Baba boy, that wasn't just a random insult. He took something simple, tied it to Mlard past as a barber, and flipped it into a punchline that stuck for years. From that day on, people in dancehall started to associate the word barber with runner, a man who runs from a clash. That's not just lyrics, that's social branding, true music. He redefines how people talk, how people remember, and how they label moments in the culture. Just listen how this man construct a rhyme around a single image or a nickname, turns it into a moral argument, then flips it into bravado. That combination of humor, threats, confession, and wordplay is weird. See, many artists can write a catchy chorus, but few can deliver lines that become everyday slang, then turn that slang into economy. That's lyrical influence, not just lyricism. The other thing we can look at is format. How Vybz Kartel constructs some of his songs. Kartel change how bars land. This man spent time and engineer cadence that rides the rhythm in unexpected ways. What do I mean by this? See, sometimes Kartel half sung, he's half spoken. Sometimes he even abandon the predictable chorus and let a line breathe until it becomes a chant. That experimentation creates a template, and he constantly uses this. Take for example, Drone Them. The part that other artists keeps copying but never get right. See, that song is a perfect example of how Kartel uses silence as power. He let one line breathe, give it space and echo in your head, and then drop the next line like a grenade. When you talk about perfect timing, he knows how to turn a simple phrase into a chant that spread through the street. That's repetition used like hypnosis. Within days of release, that song became a street anthem. Kartel understands how rhymes interact with psychology. He knows how to build anticipation on records. That's what separates him from average DJ. See, most artists fills every second of a beat with words. Kartel, he knows when to speak and when to let silence make the words heavier. It's like he's not just DJing on the rhythm, he's controlling the listener's emotion. That's format innovation, changing how verses flow, how lines land, how hooks live. It's the same reason many upcoming artists study delivery patterns before they even write a song. Simple put, the way how Vybz Kartel crafts some of his songs, it's all psychological control through music. And that's why fans stay hooked and not even realize. You never know what Kartel is going to do next. Sing, chant, whisper, explode. It's musical unpredictability. That's what separates the teacher from the student. Now let's move into cultural authorship. The part of Kartel's career that textbook could be written about. This man created a whole language, a whole movement. Everyday phrases like the teacher, up to the time, all become national slang. When an artist's lyrics become part of how people talk, that's when you realize that this isn't just entertainment. It's influence on a social level. He gave Jamaica and the dancehall world new ways to express confidence, pain, love, and rebellion. Think about it. People quote him in conversations, caption, and even business slogans. This is all deeper than just songs. This is more like identity. He has the weird ability to turn his thoughts into language that defines a generation. It's like how Bob One Love became a global message, Kartel words became a pulse of a nation's street culture. This is why even young artists, whether consciously or not, end up sounding like him. The slang, the tone, all come from the school of Kartel. Even his rivals are forced to use his style just to keep up. And he's not the only one, you know. Understand that every genre has people who invent the language of their time. They give culture new words, attitude, and length. When an artist's catchphrases become radio shorthand or wedding jokes and social media tags, that artist stop being a musician and start being a lexicon. What does that mean? Because language shape identity. When a generation uses your phrase to describe wealth, love, or disrespect, you are a written part of their emotional map. Another current example is what is under my nose, a phrase that already woven into the culture. A phrase that shockingly is bigger than a lot of artists' name, much less them song. And again, you're gonna say Mlard, you're wrong. But let me just give you a typical example. I mentioned this phrase to my mother, and I just simply asked her if she ever heard that before. She said yes, the foolish where Vybz Kartel say when he come out of prison. She learned all that from the news. But if I ask her some artist name, she gotta ask her what that or who that. This level of identity does not come from winning a Grammy. Now let's step up the video one now. The fear and the respect dynamic. Let's talk about the fear factor. There's a complete video on this on my channel. This is a topic that a lot of people seems to avoid. I don't know why, but yeah, I do a complete video on this. This is where things get interesting. The fear / the respect dynamic. Kartel is the artist that other artists both admire and avoid. He's the measuring stick and the monster under the bed at the same time. And when I mention fear, it's not just about badness. Just push that aside and let's focus on something different. Great artists inspire imitation. Legendary ones inspire intimidation. Kartel presence in the culture produce both. Like the video if you have full knowledge of Vybz Kartel reign from 2008 till now. You know about all them songs you follow him at the school wherever. Like the video. See, Vybz Kartel is the only artist who make other artists nervous just by releasing a song. Back in the days when juggling was a thing, when them hear say Kartel step out pan already, every other else artist or one of them verse still makes sense. And yes, I think it also influenced a lot of artists to, come with them eggy. And don't get it twisted, a lot of great artists were around when Vybz Kartel are running ground. Man like Ayakti, Cargo, Conscience, Bugle, right? But Vybz Kartel was different. The reason why them call him teacher. Ask anybody who ever try to clash Vybz Kartel. It's like trying to out-talk a dictionary with attitude. It's just not going to work. And even people who hate him to the core still have to respect him. Because deep down, them know the man different. And then there's another level of fear when it comes to Kartel catalog. The man catalog is so deep and his creativity output so consistent that competing with him feels like impossible. Like which artist catalog can you really compare with Vybz Kartel? This man will drop 5 songs in a month and each song sound like a different personality. That's intimidating to a lot of artists. He mastered how to own multiple styles, from the gangster persona, gallus, the philosophical and the social commentary, while sounding natural in everyone. That's not normal. You can hate the DJ, but you cannot deny the man command of the art. Now let's talk about influence and business, branding and global reach. Let's start business. See, Vybz Kartel treated music as more than sound. He treats it as a brand and currency. That meant maximizing attention, features, viral lines and controversies that kept his name trending. Artists today study the release plan. The single that becomes a phrase, the remix that brings new fans, the visual that doubles as a meme. These playbooks are cartelized. We could go all the way back to bleaching days when him say cool like me watch your face with the cake soap, and you wake up the next day and Vybz Kartel a sell cake soap. From slang to currency. Another typical example of how we turn brand into a lifestyle long before social media made that normal. Clarks. The Clarks movement is still one of the best examples of how a song can transform fashion and drive real worldwide sale. He turned our shoes into a symbol of identity and pride into the ghetto. That's not marketing. That's mere psychology. He understood early that attention is value. Every headline, every controversy, every public statement, all of it fueled his dominance. But what people missed is that behind the chaos was control. You hear the man talk about the Mlard clash. Man telling us that the last part of it was staged. They planned that. This one is also important. He normalized a form of global reach that wasn't just touring. His records lived in phone, in clubs, and on channels that bypass gatekeepers. The same reason people say no party can keep without playing a Vybz Kartel song. Just the mere thought alone show you his level of dominance.
I see Vybz Kartel as a whole genre by himself. I see him, even this king argument and whatever it is, I see him as greater than that, bigger than that. I think he's limited when they say, oh, the king of dancehall. He has moved way past that. I think he should have his own genre.
So let's break it down. Why is the bar unreachable? Why Vybz Kartel is the measuring stick? It's simple. Vybz Kartel didn't just master one lane. He conquered every lane that defines relevance in dancehall. Kartel's legacy combines elements that are hard to replicate simultaneously. Plenty of artists are lyrically strong. Plenty are culturally big. Plenty are savvy with branding. Very few are all three at once, with the same longevity and the same pattern of shaping language. Someone can outsell a Kartel single in the moment. Can they invent slang that people keep using 5 years later? Can they flip a verse into a social movement? Can they force other artists to change cadence because their bar set a new rule? And hear the sad truth, lyrically he's unmatched. Flow-wise, he's the most unpredictable artist in the game. Culturally, he's fully embedded. Strategically, he's always 2 steps ahead. This is why artists trend for a season but never replace the foundation he built. I am sure you will hear people say there will never be another Vybz Kartel. It's not about replacing him enough. It's about understanding what he made possible. When you stack everything that Vybz Kartel had accomplished, you get a benchmark that functions like a gravitational field. Everything new orbits it. Now let's be fair though. There are artists who come close in specific lanes, Beenie Man and Buju Banton have their own touring history of language and influence. Artists like Bounty Killer crafted an era's aggression and credibility. Sean Paul don't know him translate dancehall to the global pop market in a way few could. Those artists deserve their place in this history book, and they influence different metrics, but none combines Kartel particular mix like micro-lyricism, internet era, the cultural authorship, and the trend engineering in the exact way he did. Here's a real takeaway. Measuring modern dancehall without using Kartel as the reference is like judging sprinting without looking at Usain Bolt. Is it possible? Yeah. But you will miss what dominance looks like. That is why I always encourage young artists, if you want to put a foot in dancehall, you have to study his techniques. Not to copy it, but to understand the standard, then build something else on top. So when we talk about Kartel legacy and impact, we're not just talking about the bag of hits that he created. We're talking about the way he changed how the music is made, heard, and felt. This man's legacy is the test that every artist unknowingly sits when they touch the mic. And no matter how good they are, that invincible yardstick, yeah man, it will always bear one name. If you want more video like this, don't worry, I've got a breakdown coming soon. This is probably one of the first time you'll see a video like this on YouTube. Basically, I'll be dissecting 5 Vybz Kartel verses line by line and show you exactly how we build out everything that I mentioned in this video. The whole cultural gravity in under 2 minutes per verse. So if you're a true Gaza fan, trust me, you'll need to watch that one here. It's going to be different. Until then, bless up on yourself, man. Peace.